Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You've got a for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Steve Post in our Concord, North Carolina studios via the Zoom call from our Lethal Chassis studios up in Pennsylvania. Co-host today is Ashley Stremme. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
Hey, Steve. Well, we are in the thick of it here in central Pennsylvania, obviously, with Speedweek. And if I'm being completely honest, I haven't seen or done any of it. But I will be at Port Royal tomorrow, so I'm not completely going to miss out on it. And hopefully I can tune in for the rest of the week.
Well, here's what you've missed. Dietrich, Macri, drama. How about that? There you go, in that order. Yeah, that's what you've missed.
I may not have seen it. I just, obviously, I get to read it the next day. So you nailed it pretty much.
Ooh, man, oh man. I am telling you, I can't imagine how vanilla sprint car racing would be without Pennsylvania. I am telling you, just when it is the rocky road, the chocolate, the strawberry, the every flavor, happens in central Pennsylvania. And it is crazy. And we'll get into that a little bit. But Ashley, a decision that impacts central Pennsylvania was made announced over this weekend. The World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, of course, we know they have the 4-race allowance that they allow their drivers to do beyond the World of Outlaw schedule. In reference to so many rainouts, I think there's been 14 rainouts, they have made the decision to allow their teams to run as much as they can from the 1st of July, which was Monday, through the 8th of July. And Pennsylvania Speedweeks has been the beneficiary of that and will be the beneficiary of that. I'll be interested to see what goes to Knoxville, be interested to see what happens there. But Ashley, quite a little switcheroo from the World of Outlaws. Brian Carter making the decision here and allowing their drivers to go race some more.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Everyone's going to have their opinion, just like we discussed. But ultimately, at the end of the day, these racers race for a living. And when you have that many rainouts, it kind of put a damper on everything, especially when that truck still has to go up and down the road. So, I think it's a really great call on the World of Outlaws to do that and allow their guys to try to make an income.
So stay tuned. Logan Schuchart's going to join us. Of course, he was at Lincoln. We'll see what his plans are for the balance of the week. Brock Zierfost has announced that he'll run the 2 races at Port, Williams Grove and Selinsgrove. And I am really going to be anxious to see Williams Grove and Selinsgrove are both on the World of Outlaw schedule coming up. But Williams Grove on Friday night is the $25,000 to win Mitch Smith Memorial. Summer Nationals is only 2 or 3 weeks down the road. I will be anxious to see if others, maybe not from the state of Pennsylvania, don't sneak over there in the Keystone State to try to pick off some money. This is really fascinating to me, and I really like this. I think this is really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's cool for us here in Pennsylvania, right? Because that's not something we would be expecting. So to get to be able to see these guys again, unplanned is really awesome as well.
Yeah. So we mentioned we are going to talk to Logan Schuchart because when we talk about the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, Saturday night, Friday night was rained out. They were at Cedar Lake. Saturday night, Logan Schuchart picked up the win. Led it flag to flag, Ashley, but man, his long national nightmare is over. Logan Schuchart finally getting back to victory lane.
Yeah, and of course, where he got his first World of Outlaw win, and now it's his 42nd career win, which ties him with Andy Hillenberg. So he broke a 45 race streak there. So I know he's probably happy that that's finally over.
Yep, Logan picked up the win. Sheldon Haudenschild was second, and David Gravel was third. While the Outlaws rained out on Friday and raced on Saturday, Kubota High Limits raced on Friday and rained out on Saturday at I-70. And when they did the racing on Saturday night, there was a little sunshine out there in Kansas City. First of four, was four drivers to lead the race, and Tyler Courtney got his fourth win of the season. Sunshine's got that car rolling, Ashley.
Yes, he does. Obviously, a big payday for him as well. $14,500, the richer, because it's $10,000 to win, but then an extra $4,500 because of the Durst dice roll, and he gets to split $9,000 because he started ninth. $9,000 with the person who rolled the dice. So I want to say kudos to Phil Durst for doing the Durst dice roll. He has paid out some money this year just with that dice roll.
It's been great because the teams benefit from it and fans benefit from it. So yeah, Phil Durst, tip of the cap to him and everyone at Kubota High Limit Racing, and they are in their down period as well. Pennsylvania Speed Week. All right, let's get started on this one. All right, Williams Grove. Ashley, and I know you said you haven't been following along with it. Williams Grove Friday night was, sometimes we have dry slick Williams Grove, sometimes we have never widens out Williams Grove, sometimes we have gets too wide Williams Grove. We had wild, fast, huge curb Williams Grove that tempted and caused the best drivers in sprint car racing to jump over that curb. It was crazy. Williams Grove. It was interesting to watch single cars go through corners. Watching that. It was fascinating. Williams Grove, wherever that fits into the category. And when we got done, Danny Dietrich, he put together a heck of a night.
Perfect. Quick time, heat win, and of course the feature win. And then you take it to Saturday. I wish you remember who it was. It was a little tidbit that Lincoln has not rained out for Speedweek in like umpteen years. So unfortunately, the rain took that one on Saturday.
Sunday, it was over to Babs Motor Speedway, where it was the same story. Danny Dietrich, quick time, heat win, and picked up his second feature win. Last night, well, I'll tell you what, there is a lot of conversation about last night. Anthony Macri picked up the win. Devin Borden was the leader on lap number 21. The caution came out for a spin on the front stretch. I think Freddie Raymer and Jacob Allen slowed, and Freddie spun to miss him, if I'm not mistaken. But, and then it was announced that Devin Borden would be put back 2 spots. The race leader would be put back 2 spots for jumping the start of the race. Let's talk Anthony Macri. Yes, exactly. Let's talk Anthony Macri. Not a shocker that Anthony Macri was there to pick up the chips. He was rolling pretty good before that, but Anthony Macri, not a shock winning in anywhere in the country.
Agreed. I mean, obviously he's on kill every time he climbs in that car and just phenomenally fast, but obviously the outcome could have been completely different if things would have fell a different way, but that's racing, right? That's the way it goes.
Yeah. I'm just going to get on a little bit of a soapbox here, folks. I'm going to get on a little bit of a soapbox here. The restart rule, the call to do it 21 laps later certainly created a lot of ire, created a lot of angst. Here's my soapbox. I have no idea. Looking at the and Dave Andrews, the race director over at Atomic, he dared to go to the rule book. Okay, now everyone's screaming and hollering and wringing their hands, and Dave Andrews, how dare he go to the rule book? And when you look at the rule book, it's like, well, it's certainly can see possibly how you made the call. Here's okay, whatever you want to do about the call. And whatever you want to do about making the call 20 minutes later or 21 laps later, okay? Yeah. There are some great debates out there, and there are some great people that offer insight. But folks, there's a whole bunch of people who are not listening to listen. You're listening to talk, or you're listening to respond. Listen to listen. Just one, when you want to pick up that keyboard and fire off that Lincoln, because they don't have a flagger, makes a terrible call, pump the brakes, listen to listen. Kevin Naus weighed in on it a little bit. And honestly, Dave Andrews and Kevin Naus provided great insight. And both of them said, we don't agree with this rule, but here is what the thinking was. At that point, put down the keyboard and say, okay, that, but no, everybody's got to be heard.
That's not fun, Steve.
No, I know it's not fun at all. Pump the brakes a little bit. Folks, sometimes listen to listen. Don't listen to respond. Don't listen to talk or type. Listen to listen. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the call. And I certainly didn't like that it was 21 laps later.
Agreed.
But when I listened to listen and saw Dave, and I'm like, okay. And actually, Jeremy Elliott has been all over this. And Jeremy Elliott, how dare he talk to Jerry Parrish at the racetrack, who actually is responsible for the call. And Jerry Parrish, well, you got to read it on Sprint Car Unlimited, but Jerry Parrish was like, okay, maybe there's some things we need to look at here. So how dare Jeremy Elliott actually talk to the sources? How dare he do that? So anyhow, fun times. And Pennsylvania adding all the flavors to the ice cream vanilla this week, and they race tonight at Grandview. So fun stuff.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Absolutely. Other winners this weekend, Dale Blaney. We're going to talk to Dale. He won at Lernerville. Brian Brown won at Knoxville. Max Guilford, career first IRA win at Beaver Dam in Wisconsin. Justin Sanders, his 4th win of the season at Silver Dollar Speedway for the NARC Tour. And we're always happy. We're always having fun. We love this sport. But we do need to mention Friday night at Jacksonville Speedway in Illinois. Bad scene there, bad crash. And Ralph Wilhite, an infield worker at Jacksonville Speedway, lost his life. Our thoughts, prayers, and condolences are for Ralph's family and really the entire sprint car community, especially the sprint car community around Jacksonville Speedway. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody, and we certainly wish everyone well as the healing process is underway out there in Illinois. So terrible scene. And we just really hate to see what happened out there. So with that, we are going to step away. When we come back, we're going to go to the Sage Fruit Hotline. Logan Schuchart, he joins us first up.
Tony, do you even remember how to drive one of these?
It's not something you forget. You should know that. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple. Winning quality in every bite.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Let's go to the Sage Fruit Hotline. Joining us fresh off from a win this weekend and a little bit more bonus racing as well. Logan Schuchart joins us. Hello, Logan. How are you?
How's it going? Nice to be talking to you guys. It's been a little bit, so
well,
good.
Yeah, it has been a little bit. What in the wide world of sports has been going on over there? What's been happening?
Well, we haven't. I feel, in my opinion, we haven't raced a whole lot this year.
Yep.
I think Saturday night was supposed to be our 46th or 47th race, and it was our 31st race. So makes it tough to kind of get in the rhythm of things. And I feel like we've had speed at times this year. We race well. We're just starting 11th, 12th, 13th in that area and kind of getting up to 6th or 7th. So I don't feel like we've been as bad as what some of our results have shown. I think we need to qualify a little bit better and start up front. Like some of these guys are winning, most of the races are starting on the front row of a heat race. So to me, that's what we need to do better, but happy anyways to finally get a win there at Cedar Lake.
Logan, we all talk about getting the monkey off your back. How much does it really matter, though? Like, is that something that's a mental head game that you do consider? Is it just kind of a, hey, we take it as it is because the competition is so strong right now?
Yeah, I know how good everybody is, and it's just small changes throughout the night can make or break your night to really have that chance at winning a race. So yeah, I try not to think too much into it. I think the whole sprint car world itself thinks a lot more into it than what it actually is. I feel like I said, if we just qualify a little bit better and we're starting up front, it makes it a lot harder for those cars to pass you if you can get out and set a pace just like we did on Saturday. So I feel like 2 weeks ago at Knoxville was kind of the same deal. We started up front and Had a great race there with Corey Day, and he did a great job and was able to come out on top. And but that's what gives you chances to win races. So if we put ourselves in a good spot, we're gonna have chances to win races, and that's what we need to do.
I know this is a question that if you knew the answer, you'd be doing it already. How does one fine tune, work on, improve, pick up the qualifying game? Because it's such a short time science. How do you do that? What are you guys working on to be better in qualifying?
Well, obviously, you want to get your car out of the racetrack. You need some speed. Speed's what I feel like we're lacking a little bit, and I think we're getting better. We were really bad at the beginning of the year. Seemed like we were having to race. We were, more fourth, fifth in that area, and really having to race from the back. So, I feel like we're finding ways to make that happen. We were second at Cedar Lake on Saturday, and real close to that track record with Carson Macedo. And then when we ran Lincoln last night, we were I think 1,000th off Anthony Macri for quick time. So we're finding small things, and I'm not going to elaborate on that too much, but I think we're working on it. We're finding some speed and getting our car to handle well and make good laps.
All right, Logan. So you mentioned racing at Lincoln last evening. Obviously, you mentioned also that, there's been 14 or 15 rainouts so far this year. Talk about how this has come to fruition that you're able to race in Central PA with the World of Outlaws. Did they send a group text out and say, hey guys, we're lifting the 4 race limit for this week only, go race some racetracks?
Yeah, much respect to Brian Carter and Carlton Reimers, the World of Outlaws. We kind of raised some of our concerns, and they know, it's been tough, I'm sure, financially on them losing so many races. But, racing is a business just like anything else. And when we're sitting around, not racing, here we are in June. And as far as the World of Outlaws go, with them not having anything scheduled this weekend, it would be 2 races in 3 weeks that we would have run. And so that's just, that's tough. So I think the World of Outlaws saw that and, put out a group email to all their race teams that, whatever we wanted to run, it wasn't going to count against their 4 races, that they are allowing us to run. So we're, fortunately, Pennsylvania Speedweek's going on right now. We can take it as a learning experience, come back and run some of these races, and like I said, still try to get in that rhythm, try and learn some things with our car to where we're getting into some of the bigger part of the year. So don't feel like we're going in and such a disadvantage.
What's it like, Logan, to just roll into a racetrack and you're not worried about points, you're maybe trying something, you're maybe learning something. It's not something you get to do often, chasing the World of Outlaw Championship. What's that like that you had last night in Lincoln and that you'll have throughout the course of the races you run this week?
Yeah, it's really nice. Not very often does that happen, or you can go in with that sort of mindset. I don't think I really race much different. There might be some chances that you might not take if you're, up there racing for the lead. In a World of Outlaw race, sometimes it's better to finish second or third than take too many chances and get yourself a DNF, kind of like I did at Knoxville the other week. So it's playing it smart, but when you're, if you're in that position tonight or this week, you can kind of go for it. So it's exciting for me. We're going to Grandview tonight. I don't think I haven't been there since my very first year running 410s. The World of Outlaws don't go there, and I'm excited for it. It looks like a fun racetrack. So yeah, we can go there, learn some things, have a chance to maybe make some money, win a race, and go to a track I haven't been to in a long time.
Logan, you talk about the tweaks and the small adjustments that you need to find that speed. Is there ever a time, especially now that the points don't matter in this situation, that you'll completely jump ship and try something completely off the radar to maybe try to rediscover something else?
I don't know about too far off the radar. I feel like the best crew chiefs, Ricky Warner, Cody Jacobs, 2-car Ripper, they're not just throwing big guesses at it. Like there's a rhyme and reason for what they're doing, the shape of the racetrack, the dirt, or there's reasons for the changes that they're making. So there's, we can try to learn some things and stuff that we wouldn't normally do, but I wouldn't say it's too far off the radar. So, like I said, there's a rhyme and reason for the adjustments that are being made. So when the windows as small as it is, like I said, there's small adjustments that can kind of go a long way, it seems. Um, you're not really throwing the wrench at it too often.
Two of the races coming up here on the Pennsylvania Speedweek are tracks that you will visit again with the World of Outlaws. You have Williams Grove, you have the Mitch Smith Memorial coming up on Friday night. Of course, Outlaws have the Summer Nationals and, of course, the National Open. And then later in the year, Selinsgrove will host the World of Outlaws, and you've got a race there on Sunday. How nice is that to get a little bonus time at a couple of tracks you'll see later this season?
That honestly was one of our main reasons for wanting to come home and race. We haven't raced much, so we wanted to get some laps, hopefully have a chance to make a little bit of money and just come home and race. We're going to be home anyways. We plan to come home for this little break, as it was. The rig was maybe going to stay in Wisconsin, but if we were driving home anyways, we were hoping we got the chance to race. And fortunately, like I said, proud to be a 11-year World of Outlaw member, but for them to say that we can run as many races as we want during this period, and then PA Speedweek happens to be going on is awesome. But for those racetracks, we haven't raced there with the World of Outlaws yet this year. Selinsgrove I haven't been to in a long time. And it's nice to hopefully go there and get a little bit of a notebook so that we have an idea when we come back, with some of the best drivers in the country.
All right. So obviously a lot of racing planned the next few days while you're home, but is there any golf outings scheduled as well while you're at home?
I got some buddies asking me. I don't know how many little white balls we'll be hitting this week. But, fortunately, we're going to get to race a good bit. So, I don't know. None right now. We did the Husitz. We didn't get to race much in Husitz, but we did their little charity thing they have going on. So that was pretty early.
Man, oh man, fun stuff. It really, truly is. Well, Logan, we're glad to see you win that race up at Cedar Lake, and can't wait to see what a welcome addition to Pennsylvania Speedweek, having you drop in and mix it up with the posse there. We look forward to seeing what you have this week, but thanks for joining us here this time on Wing Nation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's nice talking to you all.
There we go. That's Logan Schuchart joining us on the Sage Fruit Hotline. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Tony, do you even remember how to drive one of these?
It's not something you forget. You should know that. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple. Winning quality in every bite.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. Ashley Stremme and Steve Post, let's go right to the hotline. Fresh off from a trip to Victory Lane Friday night at Lernerville Speedway, Dale Blaney joins us. Hello, Dale. How are you?
I'm good. How's everybody down there?
Oh, Dale, I mean, we're doing fantastic. We open up the internets and see your smiling face standing there with a trophy and a checkered flag in your hand. How'd you win on Friday night? Tell us about that win at Lernerville.
Wasn't bad. Started fourth and jumped right into second and followed Michael Bauer around there for a little bit. And the track was really slick. 3 and 4, there was really not much there. You kind of run anywhere, but top was fairly dominant. And then same thing in 1 and 2. Top was a little bit dominant, but I never really had to move around a ton. Once I got the lead, yellow came out about halfway through, and look on the board, and AJ Flick's behind me, and I haven't beat that son of a gun down there at Lernerville in about a year and a half. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I got to get rolling. And I don't know, just carried some speed and got it done.
Dale, I read in your post-race interview that it was a last-minute decision. Evidently, it worked out well. So what was the seal, the deal for you to go to Lernerville that night?
Well, we were going to run Sharon, on Saturday and then Tri-City on Sunday. Scooter, my guy, he was gone Friday and Saturday and was going to be there Sunday. And we thought, well, we can do it without him one night. And then it looked like rain was going to happen on Saturday. So yeah, noon on Friday, we were like, hey, let's go to Lernerville. So we went down there and ran. And silly me, we have restrictors in our motor every night when we go to Sharon, because you can't really use a whole lot of motor there. So I left the restrictors in right from the get-go, never even thought about taking them out. So yeah, we ran with restrictors all night at Lernerville in the motor and got some horsepower away from it, but it actually needed it later on. So, and I actually finally realized that after the heat races, when I went to put the restrictors in, that they were already in there. So anyway, yeah, it worked out okay.
Yeah, it works out good. And Scooter's got to feel pretty good about his job security as well, too, right?
Yeah, most definitely. He was probably shaking his head after he found that out. But yeah, he probably feels really good about it.
Tell us about this team, Dale. You mentioned Scooter. Yeah, how'd this deal come together? Who you driving for? What's this? What's the program here?
Same team I ran for last year.
Yep.
Jerry Barris from West Middlesex, Pennsylvania, just about 20 minutes away from me. Grew up kind of with him, racing go-karts. He's about a year older than I am, but he's been involved with racing his whole life, been around it, and he's finally got a car here the last 3 years, and I've run it last year and then this year. And we go here and there and race kind of whenever we want to. He's my age, and Scooter's in his 60s, and I'm 60 now. So it's not like we can go run Ohio Speedweek or run a lot of places in a row. We go where we feel like going and can do well and come on back. So I think Friday was the first we'd raced in about 2.5 weeks. I think Ohio Speedweek race at Sharon was the last previous time I ran, and needed to get out and race a little bit. That's for sure.
So what I'm hearing here is it's the good old boys club, just out having a good time, loving what they do and doing some racing. And Dale, for you, you've had such an incredible career and you've lived on the road and you've done those Ohio Speed Weeks and all the things that fall in. So what's it like now to kind of be on the flip side of thing where a bunch of old guys are just having a good time, having fun racing?
It's definitely different. I mean, your mindset's the same when you get there. I get kind of frustrated at times and hyped up at times, and like I normally do. When you race for as long as I did and race for a living, you're never ever going to lose that. So it's hard sometimes just going and racing and I've never raced for fun. I've raced for my life. So fun is a different aspect of me racing right now. But it is. I mean, like I said, I'm 60. If we don't do that well, I get frustrated still, but which makes me think I still want to race a little bit, because the times you get out of the car after a ninth place run when you felt like you should have run fourth and you're happy about it, that's when you know you just should walk in the trailer and get your clothes and go on down the road. But I still get frustrated. I still get angry. I still get hyped up about racing and want to race and want to do well. So that means, and we all do. I mean, once you set foot in them, you want to get after it and get all you can. And you still want to prove to yourself at my age that I can still do it. And that's why I kind of do it right now, just to prove that I can still do it.
Man, I'll tell you, there's so many levels. I love that answer. I really do. I've always said, I don't, when you stop getting happy with a mediocre day, that's when you need to do something else. And I'm glad that fire is still there. And Dale, when I look at it, 14 starts, 8 top 5 finishes. We just had the win this year. So your performance looks like you guys are rolling along, especially clicking it off here as of late. So you've got to feel good about that.
Yeah, no doubt. There was 55 cars, I think, at Ohio Speedweek race at Sharon, and that's the only race we did that week, and ran second to Dietrich, and felt like we were really competitive. Western PA Speedweek was a couple weeks prior to that, and I think I ran second in the points to my brother in that one. So, and we ran the top 5 every night. So yeah, I feel like our performance has been pretty good. Now we haven't, gone out and raced many outlaw races or high limit races. But yeah, we were at Attica earlier this year, and for a fast series race or just a Fremont Attica race, and me and Schaefer on the front row of it. Two old guys like that, and then you got Axum and Bacon behind you, and I come out of there. I think started second, run fifth maybe, but yeah, I mean we can still do it a little bit at times.
I love it. You talk about your brother. Obviously, Dave, also successful career, and your nephew. We've talked about him a few weeks ago, Ryan Blaney, with his win, and the whole family being at Iowa. But you guys did a really cool charity event, Dinner with Champions, for the Des Moines, Iowa Alzheimer's Association. Talk about what that was like, what it kind of was, and will you be doing this in the future?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the future stuff. I'm sure we'll be doing some different things here and there this year, next year. Even when I get out of racing, we'll probably still do some stuff. But yeah, it was fun. Saw some old friends that I haven't seen in a long time there. Got to meet a lot of new people. It was fun being with Ryan and Dave, all night. We watched the races over there at Knoxville that night. But it was anytime we can do something with almost Alzheimer's Foundation, and Ryan does a great job with everything that he does. And my dad had the disease, so it's a disease that hits close to us, and to find a little bit of a cure and to raise some money, that's a great thing that we can do, and we're definitely glad to do it.
It was a neat time, that's for sure. I shared this, and we had a little video snippet of it and the audio snippet of it. Ryan wins the race, and Dave jumps the fence or slides down between the fence and the safer barrier, and you're back there. It's got to be really neat and interesting for you, and even going back generationally, of course, with your father being a racer, it's got to be really fascinating to see your nephew achieve all that he's achieving in NASCAR, and not only achieving it, but the way he's doing it with such class and just handling things the right way. What's that like, just to see Ryan perform like he does?
Yeah, he's a great kid, and 30 years old now, and you think to yourself, holy crap, he's 30 years old. And seen him race for since he's been 17, 18, and all of a sudden he's 13 years into a NASCAR career. So it's crazy to believe he's that old. But yeah, he's a great kid. He's an old school kid, and everybody's extremely proud of him in the family. And it'd be awesome if Dad could be here to just see and watch him and just see exactly how he did things. Dad would love that. But yeah, it's fun to see. Watch him every Sunday, and I get to go to a few here and there, and I need to get out there and go to a few more, that's for sure. Once I get done racing here, hopefully I can go out there and hang out and do some stuff out there at those racetracks and be involved with that.
Well, don't hang up just yet. I'm sorry, Ashley, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to say, speaking of family, obviously I'd be remiss to not talk about your daughter, Lee. How are the grandkids? How's it been being Pappy so far?
It's been awesome. I just need to see him more in person. I see him every day on the phone, and I don't get down there as much as I want to right now. And she's coming up next week for a little bit, so that'll be good to see him. But it's awesome. Loudon will be 4 in September. Landon will be 2 in October. So yeah, time flies. They're getting big, and you see it every day with yours, and time just goes so quick at that age.
Oh my gosh. Don't even talk about that. That's for sure. Dale, Dale, it is always great to catch up with you. Love that you're out there competing and competing at the high level that you are. And we love that you picked up that win at Lernerville. Appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I don't know how much of a high level it is, but I'm still competing.
No, it is a high level. You're up there mixing it up. Yeah. Well, you're mixing it up with Danny Dietrich, by God. I'm telling you, when you're racing with Danny Dietrich, that's the premier level right there. You don't believe me? Ask him.
True. That is true. He just come off a couple wins at Speedweek and run to second him. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I guess I am doing okay.
You are doing okay. That's it. Thanks, Dale. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
There we go. Dale Blaney joining us on the Sage Fruit Hotline. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Tony, do you even remember how to drive one of these?
It's not something you forget. You should know that. The drive to succeed, the need to win, the desire to be a champion. And we surround ourselves with partners that believe the same. Like Tony Stewart Racing, Sage Fruit strives to be the best in all they do. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears all year long.
You can compare apples to apples, but nothing compares to a Sage Fruit apple. Winning quality in every bite.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. Absolutely love the spirit of Dale Blaney, Logan Schuchart, getting to catch up with him. And Ashley, you referenced it in talking with Dale. They had a big event at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, one sprint car place. We always talk about the birthday calendar. We talk about the raffle car. We talk about this. You know what, folks? If you want to host an event that is at a really, really cool spot, that second floor of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame may be the coolest spot on the planet. So reach out to the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. They rent out space there all the time. You can be there on a Tuesday morning, or you can be there, if you have enough money, you can be there for the Saturday night of the Knoxville Nationals. You better bring your wallet to that one, I'm sure. But no, it is really, really cool. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, we talk so much about all the great work they do, but it is also function space there. And the Blaney family had a really, really neat gathering for the Iowa Alzheimer's Association. And you have a family event, you have something going on, consider the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum as a great destination location. That is for sure. This week, it continues. Pennsylvania Sprint Speedweek, presented by Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Brews. Ashley, you said it earlier. Let's go. Let's go. We got a busy week coming up.
Yes, like Logan said, it is Grandview tonight. Tomorrow is Port Royal Speedway. Thursday, Hagerstown. Friday, as you mentioned earlier, $20,000 to win at the Mitch Smith Memorial at Williams Grove. Then back to the Speed Palace on Saturday, and then over to Sealands Grove on Sunday.
All right. Ashley, were you aware that Hagerstown is in Maryland?
I was. We've had a lot of chats about that the last couple of years.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, we'll just say yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hagerstown belongs on Pennsylvania Speedweek's tour because it's been a great historic track that wants to have us there. And the one time a year we get sprint cars at Hagerstown. Right. My buddy Buddy Long is the track announcer there, former MRN announcer. Yeah, okay. Buddy Long. Buddy Long. Yeah, absolutely. World of Outlaws and High Limits are off. Attica Fremont has regular shows and Saturday night weekly race. Or no, Ashley, this is the one I wanted to mention. Sunday night, racing returns to Huset's. How about that?
Oh, what a debacle that wall was at Huset's. But I'm glad to hear that they're coming back stronger than ever. Gosh,
yeah, I'm not shocked.
It out there from their tower being destroyed a couple years ago from the storm, and now the flooding. Unreal.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that Todd Quering and Doug Johnson and everyone out there are not elbows up and getting right back to work. They've got a busy month of July with racing every Sunday night, and it starts this coming Sunday night. So, folks, make sure you get out and support Huset's. Get out and support Huset's. I'll be interested to see, Ashley, do any of the Midwest teams go to Huset's on Sunday night? World of Outlaw teams.
That's possible.
Think about that. Because there's that little race coming up later this year that's going to pay a big, big check. So does any of the Midwest teams do a little Knoxville Huset's double this weekend?
I think that's a great plan.
Yeah. You got to go find out, folks. Get to the racetrack. That is for sure. Ashley, always fun to catch up and hang out. Really good. Always good to talk sprint car racing.
Yes, indeed. Always a pleasure.
There we go. She's Ashley Stremme. I am Steve Post. We appreciate Logan Schuchart and Dale Blaney for joining us. More important, though, than all of that, thank you for joining us and following along, watching and listening to Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit.